Workout number 4, we have another AMRAP. You're gonna work through as many rounds as possible. This one's a little bit different. We're gonna work in 7-minute blocks. So set a timer on your phone for 7 minutes. Know your 3 movements that you're gonna cycle through. You're aiming to get through the reps of all 3 movements as many times as you can for 7 minutes, taking a break and moving on to the next station. The other thing you wanna keep in mind is that each station now has a specific body focus for this workout. So the 3 movements of our lower body station, we first have 5 reps of broad jump with a back pedal. We're gonna get nice and low, power forward, get a swing of the arms, nice soft landing. From here, we're gonna back pedal to our starting position, go down, come forward again, nice and soft. Again, if jumping isn't your comfort here, we're gonna revert back to the monster walk from our first workout, staying low and swinging those hips forward. That's gonna replace. Our second movement is 12 gorilla jumps. We're gonna come into a nice low squat, and again, very similar to our quad burner hops, we're staying low the whole time, completing 12 of those jumps. Final movement for lower body is 12 sumo squats. We're gonna go wider than shoulder width, point the toes out, and then go into our squat. You should be feeling this movement here more than we did with our different muscles for the regular squat. We're staying nice and wide, going as low as possible for 12. Our second station is all about upper body. So we begin with 8 push-up to T rotations. We start in our push-up position, whether that be from the feet or the knees. We're gonna come down into our push-up and then turn and rotate our arm right in line with the rest of our body. So 1 and then 2. We're going for 8 total before we move to our next movement. You also have the option here to include dumbbells, gives you a nice deep push-up. And if you need to shift your feet and stagger that stance to keep yourself solid as you go into the rotation, feel free to do so. The second movement, we're gonna get 10 low plank reaches. We're coming down onto the forearms, checking that our hips are aligned, engaging the core. Very similar to our shoulder taps from the previous workout. Nothing should move except our arm. So we're gonna keep everything engaged. Lift one arm, reach out in front. We're going for 10 reps here, so we would have 1, 2, and continuing on. Third movement, our 16 bird dogs. We're gonna go into our tabletop position, shoulders above wrist, hips above the knee. We're engaging the core. We're going to extend opposite arm and opposite leg. Take your time and be purposeful. Each lift is 1 rep. So 1, 2, until we get to 16. Once we complete all 3, we're continuing through that cycle for 7 minutes. For our full body block, we have 3 movements, beginning with 14 plank knee taps. We're gonna be in that quad plank, similar to when we did our bear crawl in previous workouts. So, shoulders above the wrists, knees are going to be bent at 90 and under the hips. We're engaging the core, and we're going to lift our hand and touch it to the knee. So we're looking for 14 total. Then we move into the donkey kick. Hands are gonna stay planted, whether it be just a little bit out from that quad plank or straight out. We're going to kick off with the balls of our feet, bringing our heels towards the glute. If you're not comfortable with that type of movement, we're gonna go from the quad plank, come up, and still lift the legs, just one at a time and without as much torsion on the body. Third movement is 14 ankle taps. We're gonna stand straight up, keep ourselves upright, and we're gonna volley back and forth, bringing those knees high and touching the ankles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 14, and we cycle through again. Our last station is gonna focus on core and cardio movements. We're gonna start with quick feet and focus on agility. So find a spot on the floor, give yourself a marker. We're gonna come forward and back, 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. You can also turn and incorporate some lateral movement, side to side over that spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move into our next movement, which is going to be 20 of the crossbody climber. Similar to a mountain climber, we begin in that high plank position. We're going to now bring opposite knee to opposite elbow. If you have to take your time for this movement, that's totally fine. You also can get more comfortable and start to incorporate more of a volley as you go from foot to foot. Don't forget too, you also have the option to lean against something or to use the wall to stabilize yourself and do that same movement, opposite knee to opposite elbow. Final exercise is going to be 12 toe touches, coming onto your back, extending the legs, trying to get them as straight in line with the hips as possible, bringing those shoulders off the ground, and reaching for your toes, 12 reps before you cycle through the movements again.